Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Monday, July 1st meeting, special meeting for the Oregon Transportation Commission. Today we have a new chapter happening at the Department of Transportation, one that is bittersweet. We had an opportunity to thank Director Garrett for his decades of service and all of the commitments that he has made and that we carry forward, the ability for our department to have a strong foundation for us to be seeking a new director. And so this morning, the Oregon Transportation Commission has the responsibility of appointing a deputy director. And we have some decisions that we need to make, but I wanted to start by thanking the team, Bonnie, the team that you have led, and Jeff and Cooper, and just everyone who has brought us to this point. I know that looking at the delegation of authorities and how the intricacies of getting to this place, with House Bill 2017, there were a number of changes that had occurred, which changes the appointment of the director, which has brought about the reason why we have the timing being after the director has departed. So with that, today's discussion will be for the appointment of a deputy director and my recommendation, which is to appoint Paul Mather this morning to be that interim deputy director. And Bonnie, I'm not sure if there is anything in terms of delegation or in terms of anything else that you feel that we should put on the record. If not, I can carry forward with the conversation, but I want to look at you and just get the nod. Oh.
Time that you appoint the deputy director, it would be advisable to also
Okay, wonderful. So with that, do each of the members of the commission, have you had an opportunity to review the materials that have been sent to you? Just because you are not in the room, body language will be difficult to read. And for all transparency, I want to make sure that you've had an opportunity to review what it is that we'll be discussing today. So I would ask has anyone not had a chance to review the materials, or maybe you did not receive them? I want to just put that on the record. Okay, so hearing no comments, I am going to just state that we have all had an opportunity to review the materials. And before we go forward with the first motion, which is to officially appoint Mr. Mather, I wanted to take a moment and state why it is that I think that Mr. Mather is the right person for us to appoint. First of all, as we go through this process, it is it's a time of transition, and finding someone who holds the trust and confidence of the individuals who work at ODOT is particularly of an interest of mine and a priority to make sure that the team feels that they have someone that they can trust and that will carry us forward. Second, I want to note that the relationships that Mr. Mather holds with stakeholders and with the legislature, we will have conversations that will need to transpire in the next few months. And I have, again, confidence and trust in his ability to uphold what it is that the OTC would like to have in terms of us moving forward, but also with the department as well. And then thirdly, I wanted to note that Mr. Mather has a deep understanding of all of the projects that are in front of us, what we are currently working on, and will be the right person at the right time to be able to carry us forward and make sure that we do not have, as Director Garrett would have said, a hitch in the giddy up or anything of that nature, and will carry us forward in a way that will keep the work going forward. So with that, to my colleagues, I would like to go ahead and open the floor and ask if anyone has anything that they'd like to state, and if not, I would welcome a motion. But not all at once.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Van Brocklin. I support the appointment and the delegation of authorities to Mr. Mather, and I am prepared to offer a motion if there are not comments from others on the Commission that they desire to make prior to the making of a motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Van Brocklin, and I would ask to take them as two separate motions. So we would stay with the first, which is the appointment of the deputy director, And so do any of the other commissioners have comments that they would like to make in regard to the recommendation and the potential motion of appointing Mr. Mather as Deputy Director?
Chair Boehne, this is Martin Callery, and I've known Powell Mather for a very, very long time, since he was down in Region 3. I think he's an outstanding choice, and I fully support him.
Excellent, thank you.
Chair Boehne, this is Commissioner Brown, and I concur with the comments that have been made.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown.
Chair Boehne, Orlando Simpson here. I absolutely support the recommendation to move forward with Paul Mather being Deputy Director.
Excellent, thank you, Commissioner Simpson. So Vice Chair Van Brocklen, would you feel ready to go forward with the appointment, the motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, members of the Commission, I move the appointment of Paul Mather to the position of Deputy Director for the Oregon Department of Transportation to be effective immediately and to continue until terminated when a successor director has been appointed and qualified to serve.
Excellent, thank you. Any further discussion? And I will go ahead and, rather than a roll call, I think I'll just go ahead and ask everyone to say aye, and then I will ask if anyone opposes. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 I don't know that I heard Julie's voice. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Mr. Mather, would you like to say anything? I didn't ask if you wanted to say a few words, but I do see that you are at the microphone.
Oh, Madam Chair, members of the Commission, I'm honored for the kind words and the confidence that you have in me. Director Garrett obviously has left this organization on a good track, and I just intend to keep it on that track and prepare the way for the new director. So thank you again.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah. I know that in our early conversations, it was not exactly what you had intended in terms of your light retirement, but thank you for the ability to persuade you to stand in for this really important time.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have it that he stated he looks forward to it. And, so next we'd like to go on to the delegation of authorities, and there are two sets of authorities, one in which is in statute to the director, and the second are the authorities to the OTC. I want my colleagues to know that I've had an opportunity to have a good dialogue with our legal counsel as to the delegation of authorities that are for a short period of time, and those that are more for maybe the director as we have the individual come on in September. And so I have reviewed those and abbreviated the delegation of authorities to the deputy director. And should we find an authority that we need to have the commission rethink and bring back, we can always increase the authority as we go forward. But some of the planning opportunities and things that we might be working on that are more long-term in nature, those would be held with the commission to be able to provide to the new director coming on hopefully in September. So with that, do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments on the delegation of authority? And if not, I would welcome a motion, and that would be for the package of both sets.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Van Brocklen. I move that we delegate to Deputy Director Mather all authorities identified in Attachment 1, and delegate to Deputy Director Mather all authorities given to the Deputy Director identified in Attachment 2.
Excellent. Any further comment? Okay, so with that, I would ask all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
Wonderful, and I think I hear all voices. I'll just ask anyone opposed. So the motion carries. Deputy Director Mather, welcome back in a refreshed, renewed position. Excited to work with you. Thank you again for taking this on. And we do have the search process in full bore, full speed, and we look forward to hopefully having someone on to hand the baton in September. But I do want you to know that I have full trust and confidence in your ability to carry us forward, and that gives me great peace of mind. So
Good.
thank you.
I appreciate that, Madam Chair.
Okay, do any of my colleagues have further comments or anything that you'd like to offer? Okay, with that,
Paul, we all look forward to working with you.
Good.
Yes, I second that.
I agree.
Good. Thank you. Thank you again for the confidence. And yeah, we'll get through the next few months and look forward to the new director.
yes, we will. Okay, so with that, enjoy your Monday. We are adjourned.